I'm curious also what role your wife played in your success.
She's great, man. Honestly, she is the first person that hears any idea I have. And we have a very strong respect for honesty with each other. So, I mean, if it's a bad idea, she'll be like, I don't think that's it. She has a great she's great taste, not only in men, but in creative work as well.
In books.
Yeah. So like she'll look at a bunch of book covers and be like, no, these are bad. This one's kind of good, whatever. She's great for stuff like that. She's also just, I don't know, it's, there's all this data that married people make more money. And you can actually, it's pretty causal. Like you can see it, like you can see even high achievers, as soon as they get married, there's like an uptick in earnings. And I think there's so much intangible value of simply having a partner that can be a sounding board. Like any sort of major decision that I'm wrestling with, she can be a sounding board. Like she'll tell me if my reasoning makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, she'll tell me if I'm being irrational. She'll tell me like if I'm having trouble with employees. She's like an objective third party who can be like, well, no, actually, I think you're being kind of hard on him. There's just so much like intangible day-to-day value, not to mention like the emotional comfort and the stability that comes with a long-term relationship. But yeah, she's been incredible.
I love actually what you said. And this is a metric I am now going to apply on my future dates, or I guess maybe not dates, but like, life partner, is you need to be able to hear something like, I don't like that idea, or hear criticism from your partner.
Yes.
That is like one of the, I would say, the pillars of a healthy relationship. What was the exact thing that you need to be able to hear from them?
Just, that sucks.
That sucks. Right.
Or okay. No. I mean,
right.
It's funny. She, the stereotype, right, is like anytime your wife or girlfriend puts on an outfit and it's like, how do I look? You're supposed to be like, oh, you look gorgeous.
I was going to ask you if you say yes.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
You say your hips look big? Or like...
I'll tell her if she doesn't look good, I'll tell her. And she fucking hates it.
But does she ask you? I think that's the difference of you being like, hey, honey, I don't like that on you, versus
that's
like,
crazy.
Hey,
I didn't expect you to actually say that.
Yeah, no, she'll ask for my opinion.
Okay.
And it's funny because, okay, so early in our relationship, she'd get kind of mad. And I'd be like, well, you asked, so I'm going to give you my opinion. And then as time went on, so first of all, that does a couple things. One, it's not comfortable in the moment. Again, not turning away from hard things. But it breeds so much trust because now she knows from a very early stage, if I say she looks great, she fucking looks great. Like I'm not kissing her ass. I'm not, just trying to be a sweet boyfriend or whatever. Like I actually mean it. Like, wow, you are stunning. And she gets that much happier because she knows it's true and it's honest. A funny thing started happening, I don't know, around the time we got married. So like these days, now she'll ask me, she'll be like, what do you think about this outfit? And I'm like, not really feeling it. And she'll be like, well, I love it, so screw you. And I'm like, okay. And so she'll go out in it anyway. So it's like now we're even at this like further level where she can hear the no, and then she can decide for herself whether she's going to take it seriously or not. I have strangely, for a guy who traveled the world and just like was a chronic womanizer, I've become an unexpected champion of marriage. Just because it has been so profound in my life and unexpectedly profound. Like if you had asked me when I met her, if I even ever wanted to get married, I probably would have said probably not. Like maybe if I have kids, but other than that, I don't see any reason.
How does marriage differ from a long-term relationship?
In my opinion, it psychologically differs quite a bit. So there's a reason the institution has lasted for like 5,000 years. And that is, like so when you're with somebody for a long period of time, you make an explicit commitment. It's like, okay, we're boyfriend, girlfriend, we're going to be monogamous. These are the expectations of each other. Maybe we live together. Here's how we're going to share finances. You have all those conversations. And so it's like on the surface level, everything is the same as a marriage. The difference with a marriage is that you you invite every single person who matters to both of you in the entire world. You stand in front of them and you say, we are going to share a life together for the rest of our lives, in a very like emotional ritual. And then it becomes legally binding. And so the social expectation, like this whole layer of social expectation gets added to it. A legal layer gets added to it. And so there's like, you basically ramp up the psychological constraints on the relationship massively, which sounds bad, but it has had such a calming effect on me, because there are so many like minor anxieties that can happen in a long-term relationship. You know, it's like, let's say you get in a fight and your girlfriend like storms out and just leaves, gets in her car and goes, right? All sorts of crazy shit starts running through your head. You're like, where is she going? Is she coming back? Is she going to go find a guy? Is she going to go to a bar? Like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, when you're married, you're like, all right, yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. Like, she has to. She like literally has to. She has to come back. Even if it's to divorce you, she has to come back. So there's something about that. And this comes back to finding liberation and constraints, like narrowing down and finding that little sliver of life and being like, this is me, this is who I am, and these are the things I'm going to live for. There's a psychological safety and comfort that comes with that is completely unexpected. One way I describe it to a lot of my guy friends is I say, like, you know, when you like leave Photoshop on your computer in the background and it's like everything else just gets kind of slow because it's eating up all the RAM, and then you close it and like suddenly
maybe that's why my computer, I leave it open.
Yeah.
Leave it open?
I always, yeah, because I have everything unsaved.
Yeah. That's
everything, and I don't want to lose my stuff. So it's always open. It's been open for like a month.
So, and then you close it and suddenly your computer's like blazing fast. Yeah. So the way I describe it is there's like this program that's open in the back of every guy's head, which is, where's the hot girl? Is she into me? What can I do to get her into me? You know, and like even like when I've been in relationships, that window's still open. I'm not clicking on it and I'm not using it in a relationship, but it's still open. I'm like still thinking about it. Like I'm in a bar, I'm like, God damn, if I was single, I wonder what I would say to her. You know, like those thoughts still happen. And as soon as I got engaged, it was like that program got shut off and all of this mental RAM got freed up. And I just felt like I had more processing power, just more energy, more focus. There was like no debate. It's like, okay, this is my person. It's fucking ride or die. Like this whole subject is just closed. Case is closed. It's done. I never have to think about it again. I can think about these things that I really, really care
How much
about.
of that is just making a choice and sticking with it? Because you mentioned that before, the paradox of choice is that, you know, when you make that decision, now you can focus on other things. Do you think it's just that decision?
I think that's a huge component of it. So the flip side of this too is that if you're with the right person and you have a good relationship with them, this process of adding these constraints, it feels really good because it brings you guys closer together, right? So it's like, as you're going through this process of getting engaged, planning the wedding, doing the wedding, you know, figuring out how your life's going to function together, like it brings you closer together. You feel closer than you've ever felt before. And that, you know, if you're with the right person and you love them, that feels really fucking good. So you've got this thing that feels really good that's happening, and it's like shutting off all this noise and bullshit that you used to worry about that you don't have to worry about anymore.